Good evening. Welcome to our call tonight, our Sunday night calls. I've moved them to 9:30 just because of my kids' bedtime and stuff, and want to be able to get on here and be focused and give you guys a chance to get on here after you finish your Sunday night stuff. So tonight we're going to talk about stress and anxiety and some balancing emotions. So this comes up a lot. We live in a very crazy society. There's lots going on, social media, the news, and sometimes it's just kind of like a whirlwind. And I want to help us focus on being that calm at the eye of the storm. So tonight we're going to first start with some oils that are really good for anxiety and stress. And so with that, we're going to talk about lavender, which is one that is in one of the basic kits. And it's all, the one that's good for sleep, but it's also really good for calming your emotions, giving you more of a relaxed state, decreasing your stress and in your anxiety. Another really good one is rose. Rose oil is really nice. I use this one daily in my bathroom, and I'll tell you why in a second, but it comes in a roller bottle, so really easy application. Rose is great for panic attacks. It's good for shock, grieving, any really negative, kind of all-encompassing, just awful emotion, when you're just feeling so down. And so it's really uplifting, and it's very comforting oil. I use this under my eyes every day too. So I just put it on in the morning and at night. So usually I keep this in the bathroom, but if I have the kids and they're just having a really rough day and just not themselves, I'll pull out the Rose Touch because this one tends to kind of balance them and bring them back to their center. The next one is vetiver, and vetiver is right here. This one is very, very woodsy. It almost comes out like molasses. It's very, if you can see, it's very like syrup. And this one is a natural sedative. So no, it's not going to put you to sleep, but it's very calming. So my little guy is super restless at night. Sometimes I toss this right on the bottoms of his feet. I make a sleep blend that I also use it in. So it's calming, but usually when you're anxious, nervous, super excitable, jumpy, you need to be kind of brought down. And so any of those oils that are good for sleep are also going to be good to calm you down when you're really stressed. Another one is ylang ylang. This one's very floral. And I'm going to give you guys underneath here a blend you can put in your diffuser when maybe you're really stressed out or you're very anxious. So more of a floral blend. And again, just using this on your wrist points, on the bottoms of your feet, your pulse points, backs of your ears, just helps you to really calm down and find that sense of peace. Bergamot, which is actually one of my favorite oils. I use this one every day also. It's a citrus oil, so it's very happy oil, a citrusy scent, but it also is very soothing. So I tend to just put this in my hands, maybe a drop, and I just rub my hands together and just take a nice whiff, and it's very calming. It's not like your really fresh lemon, but it's more of a smooth citrus smell. So that's one of my favorites. I really like that one. So that one's also going to be one that calms you down. I'm kind of going over 7 here in the beginning oils, not to overwhelm you, but just to give you different options. You may not have, lavender, so I'm giving you rose. You may not have rose, but you have vetiver. So just to let you know there's other options. Also, I have rose that will work for one kid, but I personally don't use it for anxiety because I don't feel like it's what I need, but I do use bergamot. So everyone's going to have a different one that works for them because our body is made up of, lots of cells, and we're all made up differently. So different things are going to work for different people. Chamomile, which this one reminds me of being a kid. We'd have chamomile tea. So same thing you would use, put it on your pulse point. You can put a drop of Roman chamomile in your tea. And I'm going to jump back for a second to give you a little basic 101 here. The way you know if you can use an oil internally from doTERRA is there's a supplement facts on here. So you'll see it says supplement facts, and that's the way you know that you can use it. I would just put a drop of this in my tea if I was feeling anxious at night, couldn't get to sleep, or anxious in the morning, and it's just a nice way to balance you out. One quick thing before we move forward about taking oils internally, I personally only trust doTERRA oils to take internally because I know how they are produced and I know where they get their products from. Other companies, I can't say that because I don't use them, because I don't trust in that that complete naturalness. doTERRA tests very vigorously. They have a third party that tests their oils to make sure they're 100% pure. And so that's why I have faith in taking those internally. Again, make sure it has a supplement facts on it to be able to take it internally. And I think that's it. Yeah. So go based on the supplement facts and what needs you have. I do take them internally, but I would not take another brand. So if you have any questions about that, put a message into me. You can direct message me or you can comment. And I'd love to chat a little bit more about that. Yeah, see, Kristen knows. Thanks, Kristen. Another really calming one is cedarwood. One of my favorites because it's very woodsy and grounding, but it's also very smooth. And it is spilling all over. I'm going to get done here. I'm going to have all these oils on me. I'm going to sleep so well because I'll be so stress-free. So we're going to do a little blend of a couple of these. I'm going to tell you to put in your diffuser. So I'm actually going to give you that real quick since we've went over all the ones that are in that first blend. And I have it down here on this piece of paper. So you would take vetiver, lavender. I don't have lavender with me. It's in my other room. Cedarwood and ylang ylang. So, and actually you could just use these even if you didn't have lavender. That's the nice thing. You can take and choose what you want. So vetiver, cedarwood, ylang ylang. So this one's kind of floral. This one is real grounding and woodsy. And this one again is also woodsy. So those are very calming and grounding. And that would be a really good diffuser blend. Say you're at work and you have a stressful day of meetings or conference calls. You can have your diffuser on your desk. Sometimes I do that when the kids get off the bus because they are kind of frazzled after a long day of school. So let's see, that's it for anxiety and stress. Oh, I forgot the most important one. Frankincense, not the most important, but I use this one every day. It's really amazing for any inflammation in your body, which stress can cause inflammation, but also I use frankincense for anxiety and stress. So I put this under my tongue twice a day. So like I said, it has the supplement facts on the back, and it's really good for helping to calm you at more of a cellular level because you put it right into your tongue. It gets right into your mucous membranes and it goes right into your bloodstream. So again, using this one under my tongue before I go to bed and right when I get up in the morning. So rose and frankincense, these two I showed you earlier, I keep those in my bathroom. I have them on my bathroom counter. I put the rose under my eyes. I put the frankincense under my tongue. And so I feel like I try to stay ahead of the stress before it kind of gets a hold of me. So any questions about that? Let me look in the chat here. Kristen, so true, the same oil can do different things for each person. Absolutely. Desiree, vetiver's everything. I know, it's amazing. Cedarwood, amazing for teething kids. Yes, it is. You just put it right along the jawline. So if you notice, teething, stress, all these things are inflammation or things that cause stress, anxiety. And all of these oils tend to be grounding oils. They're made from trees. They're made from the bark of the trees. And so it's just kind of interesting how those that are going to bring us into balance when we're super excitable and there's so much craziness going on are the grounding oils. So just think of like that tree in the ground. It's rooted down, and that's where they get the oils from. So it's just very interesting, the characteristics of the oils and what they help to balance in our lives more of an emotional level. All right, so we are going to shift now to emotions for some of the oils. So first thing is, let me give you a little background on emotions. We mentally have all these emotions going on and thoughts that create these emotions and this stress. And then we have stuff going on with our heart and compassion and anger and all those kind of emotions. And then there's also the gut that is related to this. So think of when something stressful has happened and your stomach is kind of in a knot, or your stomach's flipping over because you're in so much stress. They're all tied together. So not only are you going to be working on balancing your stress, but then you may have issues like you have a stomach ache, and then you might need to pull out Digest-N. So more than just the emotional oils are going to come into play when you're dealing with anxiety, stress, and balancing your emotions. We're going to start first with, oops, sorry, my little notifications need to be off here. I thought I did that. Sorry about that. It's my mom. Hi, Mom. You should be on here. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so the first one is balance. This is a very, it's actually called doTERRA's Grounding Blend. It comes in a lot of the basic starter kits, and I really enjoy this one. I use this one every morning in the back of my neck. or you can use it on the bottoms of your feet. And it's just a nice way, again, to calm you down. And together with Serenity, these two together, it's called like a liquid Xanax or a liquid Calm. So what I do is I put 20 to 30 drops of each of these oils in my little roller bottle, and then I top it off with the fractionated coconut oil. And so I just have little stickers on there that show you what it is. I keep this one on the counter in my car, wherever my kids are, because I usually use it for them. It helps if you're feeling uptight, restless, excitable, it's a nice one right before yoga, or if you're going to sit and read for a little bit and you've had a stressful day. So just something that kind of gives you that feeling of calmness and like a deep breath, like that sigh, like that's what that oil does. All right, so ways you can use them. You can topically put them on you. You could take those two oils and you could diffuse them. And then earlier we talked about like the frankincense under the tongue. So you can take the oils 3 different ways. And we're going to move on to just a couple oils that I like to use for emotions. doTERRA has an emotional aromatherapy line. There's 6 oils that come in that. We're going to go over those tonight. They're super fun oils. And I'll briefly just tell you which each one does. So Cheer is the first one I'm going to discuss. It's their uplifting blend. These all come in little bottles so you can diffuse, or they come in rollers. I have the rollers because I tend to use them on the run in the car with the kids, and just rollers are super ease of use. I find that when they're in rollers, I use them more often. Cheer is very citrusy. It's very uplifting. And I'm going to read you a couple of the things that are in here because it's a really, really pretty scent. Wild orange, clove, lemon, vanilla, nutmeg, cinnamon, and star anise. So this one is really a nice one. I actually had this on right when we moved here to Ohio, and a lady stopped me and said, "What perfume do you have on? I want to buy that. That's beautiful. What is it?" And I said, "Actually, it's an essential oil." And I pulled it out and showed it to her, and she got to try it. And she's like, "I need that." And I went to her house, and we had a wonderful conversation, and she ordered some Cheer. So this one is very uplifting blend. It's really great. The next one we're going to go to is Console. Right when I started using doTERRA, this was actually the first bottle of oil that I bought. Not this one because I've used it a lot, but it's I've had to replenish it. But this one is their comforting blend. And I was just really drawn to this. I'm not a huge floral scented person, but oh my gosh, this one smells so good. And I use this with my kids a lot because it's floral, but it's very grounding too. So I'll let you know a couple of things that are in here. This one is frankincense, ylang ylang, patchouli, amyris, rose, and osmanthus. So if you notice, earlier in the call, we talked about some of the oils that are really good for stress and anxiety, the frankincense and the rose, and then that is in the Console one. So a couple emotions that you might want to use Console for. If you're hurting, grieving, sad, or worried, you could pull out your Console. For Cheer, I'll give you a couple emotions: gloomy, distressed, somber, or disinterested. So I have this little wheel, and I'm actually going to post it, that gives you the different emotions and the oils that are really great to use for that. So the next one, Forgive. I did not like the scent of this when I first got it, or when I first tried it. I tried it at doTERRA convention last year. I was with a lady, and she said, "Oh, let's use Forgive." We were doing hand massages. And I said, "Okay." And so I tried it, and I was like, "Oh, that's different." This is one of my favorite oils now. So it's funny, it kind of grows on you. This is the Renewing Blend. So this one has in it, just to give you an idea, spruce, myrrh, thyme, citronella, bergamot, and juniper berry, and arbor vitae. So funny thing is, 3 of these oils in here are now 3 that I use almost on a daily basis: the bergamot, the arbor vitae, and the juniper berry. And so it went from one that I was not sure I liked to one that I absolutely love. So Forgive kind of explains in itself the word when you would use it, but some emotions are bitter, angry, ashamed, or sad. So if I have a kid that's really mad at another kid, I might pull that out and put that on both of them. The next one is Peace. This is your reassuring blend. Gives you some sense of peace, exactly what it says. Insecure, anxious, fearful, and worried are some of the emotions. That goes with it. And I'll tell you a little bit that's in it. This is vetiver, ylang ylang, frankincense, clary sage, marjoram, and spearmint, and lavender. So again, 4 oils in that blend are from those ones that I just talked about in the beginning for the stress and anxiety. So they kind of go hand in hand, the emotions, the stress and anxiety. And the nice thing about these blends is that they've already mixed it all up for you. Passion, this one's kind of an interesting one. It's the inspiring blend, used for lots of different things. It's the emotions would be disinterested, bored, discontented, and bitter. And a couple of things that are in here are cardamom, cinnamon, ginger, clove, sandalwood, jasmine, and vanilla bean. So it's kind of a spicier oil, which is funny because they call it passion. Also, side note, it's very good for some digestive issues. You can actually place it on the inside of your ankle, and it helps with your digestive system. So that was kind of interesting when I first got it and learned about that. The rest of them, all of these, you can literally just roll them on your arm, tip of your nose, your neck, bottoms of your feet, wherever you feel comfortable. I wear a couple of them like they're perfumes just because they do smell so good. Motivate, this one I've been using every day. I'm into this one right now. Encouraging blend. This one is like a citrus mint. So in here is peppermint, coriander, basil, clementine, rosemary, vanilla, and Melissa. So that one's a really nice, uplifting and energizing blend. Sometimes if I'm feeling kind of blah for the day, I'll toss some of that on. So emotions for that: insecure, apathetic, discouraged, and gloomy. And so these are kind of like, I carry these in my purse. So it depends, like during the day, I'll say, how am I feeling? And then I can pull an oil out, or I can, notice how the kids are feeling, pull an oil out. So this one is really nice because I use these probably the most on the run and on the go. I was not really interested in learning about emotionally what the oils did because that's just not what I was into. And I wanted to kind of know, like, therapeutically, what can I give my kids when they're feeling sick? What can I use when I have a sore throat? What can I use for this infection or that issue, like physical ailments? And then I found these and started learning a little bit more, and now I turn to them for the emotions all the time. And it really is a wonderful way to feel empowered, and actually has me a little bit more in tune with how I'm feeling because I know that I have a solution at my hand. I can just grab it off the counter, versus before where I'd be like, I'm going to deal with that later. I don't want to, wasn't into whatever was coming up. I wouldn't let anything come up in terms of emotion. So a wonderful way to deal with emotions and help you kind of get through them. And I'm going to show you them again. 6 blends. This actually comes in a little kit, in a little box. It has each of them, and then the wheel. And it's just a nice way to try to get started in oils if you haven't before. And if you're interested in that, just go ahead and private message me and I'll give you some more details. Does anyone have any questions? I kind of gave you a lot of information in 17 minutes. So let's see. Desiree, I literally use my cheer oil every day. Also, pro tip, offer cheer to jerky people in your life to try. It makes better humans. Yes, it does. I tend to use these on the go, and people are saying, what does that smell? And then I end up sampling them, and they enjoy that little treat of me sharing my oil. So any questions? Any? No? Let's see. Oh, one other thing. 2 things, actually. So I made this little sleep blend that I actually have been using during the day also because it has the oils we talked about today. So this is a dropper, and I just put in 30 drops of cedarwood, vetiver, and serenity. Where's my serenity? Here we go. And I combined these 30 drops of each in here, filled the rest with the fractionated coconut oil, and I use this to right before we go to bed, but I also use it during the day. It's just a really nice, the Serenity adds a little bit of floral to it, but it's also a very grounding blend. So before I do yoga practice, I'll use this. If the kids are kind of anxious or we have a huge night ahead of us, I'll put this on everyone just to kind of get us off to a smooth start. So that was one thing I wanted to share with you. And then the other thing is, if anything I talked about today here, you're really interested in wanting to know more about a certain oil and you want to smell it, I offer 1 sample in the mail or drop it off at your house. So what I do is I put it in a little bottle here, mix it with fractionated coconut oil, and then I give you this awesome little book. And in here it has all the oils from the basic starter kits, how to use them. It again runs through the 3 ways to use oils and how to take them internally if you're going to internally. And it talks a little bit about how they source their oils. So just a fun kind of thing. If you are interested in getting a sample, just message me. and I will get one in the mail to you this week. It's a nice way to try them out before you purchase, and my little gift to you. So let me know if you guys have any questions, message me, and thanks for jumping on here tonight. I hope you guys have an awesome week ahead, and thanks for taking your Sunday night and spending some time with me. Have a great week. Bye-bye.